Well, hey. What's happening out there tonight, folks? What's going on? What's going on here in the Sacramento region? I want to welcome you to another episode of On the Cutting Room Floor. I am the host, Tony Ray Harvey. You know the deal. I'm podcasting from the southwest part of Sacramento, Greenhaven Pocket area. Let's get right down into it. Sacramento Kings, they lose 116 to 105 to the Indiana Pacers in Indianapolis tonight. So they end their 4-game road trip with a 1-3 record. They have lost 5 of their last 6 games, and they're headed home. They will be playing the Denver Nuggets this Thursday, December the 11th. Golden One Center. So yeah, it was a valiant fight, I would have to say. Okay, no doubt about that. They were down by 19 points. And I'm going to tell you right now that I'm not even going to call him that young man, Russell Westbrook, was trying to will them to this win. And he almost pulled it off. He really did almost pulled it off. But the last 6 minutes of that game, the Kings couldn't hit the side of the ocean. Could not do it. And their defense is kind of failing too at points because this is a game that they could have won this game. This is one that they could have had on the way back home, but that's just the way it go. But I do want to give Russell Westbrook the honors tonight for his effort. He did record another triple-double, the 207th of his career, and he did that with 24 points, 14 assists, and 13 rebounds for the Kings, who fall 6-18. And as I said, they lost 5 of their last 6 games. DeMar DeRozan, he had a pretty decent game, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. While Zach LaVine, he backs up his 40.2 effort the other night with 16 points. So he had 42 points in that win in Miami the other night, and he comes back with 16 points. I'm not really mad at him because I see some hustle out there tonight from him. He was hustling. He was trying to make it happen. So I'm not. This is definitely not a Zach LaVine thing because Zach knew that Russell Westbrook was in the zone, and it was best to try to get the ball in his hand. He was a point guard anyway to make sure that he can make things happen. And Russell was doing that. So I have to commend Zach LaVine part as a teammate to make that happen. And it did happen. Matter of fact, I've been listening all day, for the last 48 hours about a comment that Zach made after the game, scoring those 42 points. Talked to a reporter as he was boarding the bus, and something about him, he can do that if he score 42 points or something similar to that if he gets the ball. I don't know what to make it out of that. I mean, these athletes right here, all of them going to say that, that's part of the competitive nature that it is. So I'm not going to make too much big thing out of it. I think, at least for around these parts, you know how the fans are. They react to these type of things. Zach hadn't been playing well up until that point. So, I'm not surprised that the fans would react to such things like that. But Zach knows where it's at. He know what the deal is. You get the ball, you get the hot hand, you go do your thing. That's just basically how it is. But 16 points tonight from him. Like I said, I'm okay, with the effort. But, like I said, it is what it is. It is what it is because I am not impressed with all this stuff. You come back, you win a game, you beat a good team in the Miami Heat, beat them beat them on the road, beat them at home, which is a tough place to play in Casilla Center down there in South Beach. Cool. You ended the 4-game losing streak. Cool. Now you got to lose. You got 1 game lost heading back home, and you play Denver again, who you beat the last time that you played them. Denver is 2-1 on the season on them. So let's see what happens there in the next couple of days. At least you do have another couple of days. You can come back home, resettle yourself, and then get back out there and play basketball, practice, and then play basketball again on Thursday. So looking for that. But yeah, just a wild game. 19 points being down that first half. it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was 3 ties in the first quarter. And then who was that? Walker, he had 2 free throws that gave the Pacers their biggest lead at 35-23 to end the opening quarter. So they did score 35 points up on the Kings in that opening quarter. Indiana made 12 of 13 shots at the free throw line in the first quarter and 5 of 11 beyond the arc. So they got off to a really good start. They are missing about 6 players, including Tyrese Halliburton, former King. He was there on the bench. As you know, he's out for the season with a Achilles tendon injury. So we won't see him until next season. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Get better soon. The Kings, the Pacers led 66-51 at the half, to close out the break. And then when they came back, in that first 24 minutes, it was the Pacers defense. Okay, they had 7 steals and 6 blocks, and they forced 8 Kings turnovers in the game. Matter of fact, they forced 19 turnovers in the game total. Forced 19 Kings turnovers total for the Kings and stuff. Yeah, so Benedict Mathurin, he had 19 points in that first half. He made all 7 attempts from the charity stripe. And his numbers tonight, go back up here. See, Benedict Mathurin did have 25.6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. But Andrew Nembhard, he was the man. 28 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. And the Pacers have won 4 of their last 6 games. So, yeah. So, in the second half, Nembhard's basket with 8 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the third frame put the Pacers ahead 77-58, but the Kings closed out the quarter, outscoring the Pacers 30-15. Precious Achiuwa, man, what a great addition. He had a 3-point play, and he followed that up with a tip with 9 seconds left to play in that frame, and he helped cut the lead 92-88. Precious had a good game. He had 11 points off the bench, and I think he had like 5 or 6 rebounds and a couple steals too. What a great pickup though by Sacramento Kings general manager Scott Perry. That I know it was just a few days after the season started. I know he was waiting for his turn. He is a first round pick, so he got a lot to offer as far as service, and he's just been a great plug, fill in for the Sacramento Kings coming in off the bench. He could play a little bit of 5. Okay, he's definitely a power forward. And he could look like he could play a little 3 if need be, because he got a little outside shot as well. But he plays on both ends, and that's what I liked about this young man. He's only 25, 26 years old. He's definitely got to be part of this youth movement that Scott Perry and head coach Doug Christie is trying to institute. So great pickup, great pickup. Okay. So the Kings went on an 11-0 run to open up the third quarter. All right. They took a 101-97 lead after Westbrook made a key basket with 6 minutes left in the game. Nembhard, he made 2 3-pointers, and Mathurin, he added another 3-pointer. So they made 3 straight 3-pointers to regain the lead for the Pacers at 108-101. All right. And that was pretty much not necessarily the ball game, but the Kings fell apart offensively. They did. Now, they did come back and trim the lead by 5 points, but Indiana scored the last 6 points of the game, and that was the deciding factor. Okay. Yeah, they only made 4 points in that last 6 minutes. Nembhard made 12 points in that fourth quarter, with a couple threes on top of that and some free throws and another key basket. He did it. Maxime Reynaud had 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Precious Achiuwa, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals off the bench. Keegan Murray had 8 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. Got to get better, though, especially when you fought all the way back to erase that 19-point deficit. You got to do better. That game could have been closed out by you guys with a little bit better defense and some scoring. I don't know if y'all were just standing around waiting to see if Russell Westbrook was going to, score all the points, but he needs some help. So hopefully y'all learn from that. And, if you're in another situation like that, you can make it better, the next time. But gotta close them out a little bit better than that, because you did. And 19 turnovers, not going to win a lot of ball games like that, especially if you're a Sacramento Kings. You're not going to win a lot of ball games like that. So, 6-18 on the season. Kings will return here for Thursday for Denver Nuggets. That would be December 11th. And then they back on the road. They play the Minnesota Timberwolves one more time in Minnesota, Minneapolis, on the 14th. Then they return back home for maybe a day or two. And then they run up here to Oregon to play the Portland Trail Blazers on the 18th. And then they have another home game here on the 20th. And I think they got like 2 straight home games, or maybe one in between. And then I know they got a game right before Christmas on the 23rd at Golden One Center. So yes, folks. Hey, boy, I am liking what Doug's doing in a lot of areas too. I think he knows where his defensive units are, so he's working with that. Of course, Max was inserted into the starting lineup, so now Drew Eubanks is in that second unit working with the likes of Malik Monk, Achiuwa, who else was that? Keon Ellis, and so there was just one other person who been balling in that area. But it's working out for him. It's definitely working out. So you got Achiuwa, Drew, Neat Clifford. That was the other person that I missed up in there, and Monk, along with Achiuwa. I did mention that and stuff like that, but it's working out, and it seemed like he's trying to make that a flow as far as his rotation for that second unit. Malik, I think this is like the second game. He didn't get off the way he would. I really don't change because he's been playing ball all season. So, he didn't have a couple of rough stretch, but getting back home should, boost him back up, and he can continue on his play and lead that second unit as he had been doing. But I am liking some of the things that I'm seeing, the way Doug been moving around his personnel. All right. Domantas Sabonis, they're going to be checking him out here pretty soon. So, of course, he's going to regain his starting spot. And then I'm sure Doug will have Maxime coming off in that second unit. At least he should. But the rookies are doing well. Neek, he seems like he's picking it up. It's all about the time that they get on the court. But as Doug has mentioned time again time after time, they got to play defense. These rookies got to play defense. They got to play defense if they want to get out, step out on that floor. And I think Neek knows that as well. Plus, Neek has to be a little bit more aggressive on the shooting, shooting from the field. And I think he's getting a little bit more comfortable about that. He's getting back to that little level that I know this is a different level, that he was playing in Summer League. But once he gets started and he get more time on the floor, I'm sure, the results will be positive, at least 90% of the time. I don't expect him to, go all out and do big things because, yes, he's a rookie. He's going to make some mistakes, okay? But once he works himself through that, he's going to be okay. But these rookies, between Max and Neek, looking good so far, despite, the struggles that the team is having overall. But, hey, it's basketball. It's basketball in the NBA, okay? And it's the holiday season, too. I know it was a little bit of a change, coming from South Florida all the way to Indianapolis, and it's cold. I did talk to my mom there. There was snow on the ground, she said. At least from what I've seen in the northern part of Chicago, and I'm talking about northwestern area and things like that. I think it was 80 degrees down there in South Florida. Then you go up there, it might only be like 10 degrees in that area. Champaign-Urbana, it's only like 90 miles west of Indianapolis and things like that. So, but you get to come back here. It's still a little chilly here, but it ain't as cold as it is in the Midwest. Don't even worry about it. Hey, you're back home before you go up to the Northwest and play Portland, Oregon in a few days, in about a week. See, they play on the 18th. Today is a little over a week. Got 2 games before they get there. They got 1 more game before they get there. So they get a little bit of break in between, to tell you the truth, the Sacramento Kings. So that should help out too. A little bit more practice time, to get things together and look at some more films and relax and sleep in your bed and all those type of things is coming up. So yeah, Sacramento Kings, they are 6-18 on the season. They'll be at home Thursday. You probably won't hear from me again until they play the Portland Trail Blazers. I do have some reporting duties that I have to take care of on the home side, so I never put out a podcast anyway. But I will be back for the December 18th, when they do play the Portland Trail Blazers on the road at the Motor Center. I do want to thank you for stopping in for another episode of On the Cutting Room Floor. If this is your first time being here, you know the deal. Go ahead, subscribe. If not, hit that like button or both. Really do appreciate it. I don't care if it's 20, 25, 30 people that tunes in. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to continue doing this until the cow come home. And I hope they don't come home for a long, long time, because I expect to be covering the Sacramento Kings as long as I can. As long as I can. I definitely want to see them get back into the playoffs. I know it's not going to be this year, but I'm definitely going to want to be around to see that. As well, I hope that you're around to see it too, as well. Thanks again. We out of here. Peace and love and solidarity.